Welcome back, Busted Pack. Broken here, and this is how to use Volcarona. Man, this Pokemon has really good stats. I mean, 135 on special attack and 100 speed, that already beats most of the Pokemon we've seen in the 5th generation. And that doesn't even account for all the other stats, which are decent. Like the 65 on the defense, that's probably Volcarona's only main flaw, but then 85 on the hit points with 105 on special defense, yeah, that's really good, and I just can't get over it. I can't get over the 135 special attack and the 100 speed, because these stats work. You can become Sweeper, you have a little bit of tankiness for special defense, and 60 on the attack doesn't matter at all, because why go physical when we have 135 special attack? Volcarona is going to do very, very well, except for its Bug Fire typing. Bug Fire, don't get me wrong, really good, except for that 4 times weakness to rock. Like, that's the only problem here. Flying, water weaknesses, you know, we got some pseudo-standard stuff, and a ton of resistances. Fighting, bugs, steel, grass, ice, I can't get over that rock weakness. 4 times weakness to rock. So, here's where it kind of balances out, that with rock, pretty much going to be exclusively physical, except for like Ancient Power and Power Gem or something like that. But you're going to be taking physical hits, so that's where the defense kind of doesn't make it too bad, but overall, 4 times weakness to rock, but good offensive stat as well from that duel on the Bug Fire. So we can just like kind of call it a wash. As long as you avoid rocks, Volcarona is going to be excellent. Hopping into Pokemon Showdown, even more excellent than we could ever imagine because it gets Quiver Dance. Volcarona is the most powerful Quiver Dance Pokemon, and Quiver Dance is probably the most powerful move in the game that isn't exclusive to legendaries. Quiver Dance, special attack, special defense, and speed raised by 1. That's it. 1 turn, you gain all of those stats. A Calm Mind with speed. Something like that. That's absolutely insane. It's the ultimate special sweeping thing, but only frail bug-type Pokemon get it, except for Volcarona. Volcarona, it already has a 135 special attack. It already has 100 speed. It has higher stats than any other Quiver Dancers for these realms, and then they just boost ridiculously. So that's going to be pretty much the center of your Volcarona play. Setting up a Quiver Dance and then winning, because that's how broken Volcarona is. You just 1 or 2 Quiver Dance and the game's over, because unless they have rocks that are faster or they find a way to take you down with a Talonflame under that priority, you're just going to have the advantage. So yeah, you become unstoppable pretty quickly with all this setup. Now, there are a couple of things that you can do with Volcarona to just find those little optimizations, find whatever personal touches you want to put onto the set, but if you want to start standard. Right here is going to be the standard Volcarona set, and it's going to cover a lot of your bases. So right here, 140 on that speed means we are outspeeding 135 base speed Pokemon. This is going to outspeed a majority of the Pokemon, and it's going to be pretty nice after 1 Quiver Dance. So 205 on that Timid Nature on something like a Mega Manectric, and then when we see that, you know, the 100 speed, after a Quiver Dance, boom, 138, you're outspeeding that, and because of the Quiver Dance, like, it's so crazy to think about Quiver Dance, because you could almost forget about the special defense. Even if it boosted special attack and speed, it would still be really good, but once you get that, now you're also getting really tanky on that special aspect, so then a Pokemon like Mega Manectric can't really turn around and do as much damage to you while you're outspeeding it while you're just doing absurd amounts of damage. As for moveset stuff, Fiery Dance, 50% chance to raise your special attack by 1. So, if that wasn't crazy enough to have Quiver Dance, now you get Fiery Dance. Now, the 80 base power, you know, not insane. It's not like 100, not whatever. It's not the highest base power you could get. But after that, plus 1 for free, you're good to go. So using Volcarona as like a revenge Pokemon, or getting it against a special attacker where you're going to get easy setup, Quiver Dance, Fire Dance. Oh, you get plus 2 in 2 turns from while doing offensive damage and then outspeeding everything and getting specially tanky. Life Orb with all this means your opponent's just going to get obliterated, and Swarm is an interesting piece to this, because with a Swarm, you're taking damage on that Quiver Dance setup and you're taking damage into Life Orb, and since you are going to be pretty safe after that initial setup, eventually you might find a Swarm for yourself, so then Bug Buzz does damage, and that gets pretty crazy, and then there's the other move. So this is not a moveset, these are one of the moves you can pick for your final move slot, except for Fire Blast. Fire Blast can be used instead of Fiery Dance because it's really interesting interaction right here. So Fiery Dance, since it only has 80 base power, if you say plus 1, that's a 50% effective boost to your power, so that goes up to 120 base power if you do get that boost. So if Fiery Dance gets the boost and then uses again, so effective 120, say we're neutral and we don't have to worry about the crazy math, well, Fire Blast already has a 110 base power, so if you use Fire Blast twice, it's going to be better, more damage, than if you're actually going to be doing the Fiery Dance and getting a boost on that first usage, which is only a 50% chance. But then the 85% accuracy comes in. So with the Fire Blast accuracy, do you want to take that 15% chance always, or do you want to take that 50% chance once? Even though it's always going to land and do some kinds of damage. Because Life Orb, Quiver Dance, and the Fire Blast, it doesn't matter. You just win as long as it lands. and that's pretty good. Other than that, we have Giga Drain, so we do have forms of sustain. If you are running the Giga Drain, it does work better with Flame Body, because now you got healing going on and stuff like that. Get access to Psychic. It's just something to where you're not going to find as many resist. You know, you can hit fire types neutrally with it. Anything that would normally block you off, you're going to be able to do well against, except for Steel. But that's why we have Hidden Power Ground, so you can put in Hidden Power Ground. Heatran, other fire type Pokemon, you're going to hit them really, really hard, but you are going to be giving up some things like Giga Drain. That would hit rock type Pokemon. So stab rock slides and stuff, you can just outspeed and find a KO on them before it becomes a problem. So a lot of really different things that you can put here, but that's pretty much it. You go Fire Move, Bug Buzz, Coverage with the Quiver Dance, and that's going to be it. Unless you want to get tanky, because that is quite a real possibility. And with this, I would recommend the Fiery Dance, but what you want to do, just max out the defense, max out the hit points, and it doesn't matter after that because your special defense is getting boosted by the Quiver Dance. Again, it's just secondary. You know, you don't realize Quiver Dance is doing that much, and it's still going to be insane. But I think that this is probably the most powerful Volcarona set, because as long as you're just enduring hits, as long as you're avoiding rock attacks, you're just going to win with this, because they can't outdamage you. Citrus Berry guarantees even more setup, and eventually after 2 Quiver Dance, you have huge amounts of special attack, huge amounts of speeds where you're outspeeding everything, and you're still impossible to knock out, and then you get access to Roost for sustain. So you could either run Roost, or you can put Giga Drain here. I've seen both. They both have their own advantages and disadvantages, and then again, whatever coverage you want to put here, Bug Buzz does work, or you can maybe find the Hidden Power Ground, something else if you're just relying on mostly Fiery Dance damage. Like, it just works out really well. And then the Flame Body. So Flame Body on this, if they make contact and get burned, you get free setup forever, because okay, now they either have to switch out, or they're not going to do any damage to you physically because you are maxing that defense. So this is pretty much it. Now I will make the comparisons right here compared to Standard though. If you're going Standard, let's say we bump this one up to level 100 just so we have the numbers being even, 405. So 405 times 1.5 from the one stat on a Quiver Dance will be 600, but this would take 2. So if you're doing 2 Quiver Dances, you're doing the same amount of damage as 1 Quiver Dance, actually less because of the Life Orb, and then you're also going to need to use it again to get the speed, but at the same time you're tankier. So if you're going for a longer game, after 2, this is going to start being better. If you just want to go 1 and done, then sweep, this is going to be better. Just kind of shows what Volcarona is up to. Even then, double battles. Volcarona is ridiculous in double battles because you Quiver Dance and Heat Wave. So you Quiver Dance into outspeeding everything. I'd pretty much run this Standard on this one, depending on what you're going up against. Maybe even just put in full hit defense investment. That way you can survive a few more of those physical hits while still being pretty tanky. And after that, you know, you just Quiver Dance into Heat Wave. Hit both opponents. Doesn't really matter. You have Protect and then Rocky Helmet. So if they hit you, might be able to do some Rocky Helmet damage, finish them off with a Heat Wave, and coverage right here. So it just does the same thing in doubles. You can support it. It can be a support because it also has access to Tailwind, even though it's kind of awkward. But I mean, just high damage off that Heat Wave while you're setting up Quiver Dance. If they're running, like you pair this next to an Intimidate. You Intimidate them. If they have special attackers, you out Quiver Dance them, and then you just go for the mega super dunk of damage. And even then, Volcarona can run Scarf. So I did mention, you know, Quiver Dance is like your 100% must, but it's a great Scarf Pokemon. You have good amounts of bulk, max out the hit points, max out the special attack, and this gets kind of insane. Now you can also kind of move the damage around how you want to, but what I really like about this set is that with those 8 speed EVs, that's all you need to outspeed Mega Lucario. So you just kind of switch in on a close combat or something, and then you Fiery Dance, and then Mega Lucario goes away. It's that simple. So you can outspeed a lot. If you want to go up to, you know, 115 base speed Pokemon, you just kind of change it around. You can still remain tanky, have a lot of damage, and do this. Now, the great thing about this set is that there's a huge snowball potential. You come in as a revenge Pokemon, this is probably the best revenge or manual switch. And remember, you do have a lot of resistances. So you switch in at the right time, and Volcarona just sets up. If that first Fiery Dance scores a KO and boosts, you win. So that's why you might want to consider, you know, more speed investment, because, okay, I need to outspeed this Pokemon, I need to outspeed this Pokemon. Once you get to a tier you're comfortable with, well, yeah, you +1, you're still running that modest, incredible amounts of special attack, and then Fiery Dance can keep snowballing. You get it 2 turns in a row, GG, while still outspeeding, while still being tanky. You can survive your 3-hit KO Pokemon with this. So you survive a hit, 2 hits, and you're still pumping out KOs, and that's going to be the Volcarona. So if you guys enjoy the video, that's how broken Volcarona is. You really need to use it in battle to understand, but it's an incredibly powerful Pokemon, and it's really awesome. So if you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you all have a nice day, thank you for watching.